Wow.
We were looking up some really funny ones. That sound has over 1 million uses on TikTok alone.
Wow.
Celebrities, brands, just about anybody who has social media hopping on the trend. All right, so we actually have some breaking news. We're going to get to Stu now for a pursuit.
Yep.
Good morning to you, Stu. What's going on?
Central. My gosh.
Stu, what are we looking at?
Oh, hey, guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of multitasking. No, he crashed. He crashed. He crashed. There he is. He's coming out. Anyway, so, yes, I understand that. So what's going on is a pursuit here in the downtown area. As you can see, it's very, very difficult because we have the buildings out here, extremely high speeds. What the vehicles wanted for, can't really tell you what the original want was, but I can tell you this driver, very reckless. That pickup truck's been fishtailing, been up on sidewalks, driving over islands, and on the wrong side of the road. Very many close calls. You saw another fishtail right there. These buildings making it very difficult to keep an eye on it, and that's one of the reasons why they keep re-engaging that pursuit, because the helicopter, the PD helicopter that's over it, also having those same difficulties. You can see this. This is one of those ones where I am very, very sensitive about what we're doing and what we're showing because of the fact that this thing has been so all over the road and all over, like I said, a couple times on the sidewalk. These high speeds and this very, very erratic driving is you just don't want to see this end in a crash, hurting a pedestrian and or even just some bent metal, some people just being hurt. We're making our way back over there. Of course, we're going to get there as soon as possible. I did turn down the scanner because I wanted to talk to you guys, but you can see this pursuit continuing right now. And again, very high speeds, very, very reckless, and those wide turns. Look at that, people jumping out of the way. And of course, LAPD, they're doing what they can. And again, they've re-engaged it because of the reckless driving, and they're going against traffic.
Oh, wow.
Yep, we're going the wrong way. And LAPD, you can see that. They're not going to go against traffic, so they're basically letting this guy make his way that. And again, right there, you see it, the helicopter above. But even with nobody behind him, that reckless driving definitely continues, and that is what's concerning LAPD more than anything else, is the safety of the public.
That is very concerning, Stu. He's weaving in and out of, like, you know, one-way lanes, and then there's a lot of pedestrians, too, in that area. And a lot of people who are up on the sidewalk, as you can see. It doesn't seem like that makes any difference to this driver. Look at how he's fishtailing all crazy over the road. And that's when nobody is really actively pursuing him right now. I'm sure that LAPD has been cautioned to kind of keep their distance.
What's especially dangerous about this, as this pursuit goes and weaves its way into the downtown area, the downtown corridor, obviously they're extremely busy. You see homeless encampments there. You see lots of people on the streets and sidewalks. You see the vendors as well. And this is happening at a very high rate of speed on surface streets, and so that's a huge danger there when you have so many pedestrians and cars in intersections. It is super, super dangerous. And this driver showing no signs of slowing down or stopping while these black and whites are right on his tail in pursuit of this. Also, this is such a high rate of speed here, so you can't really even anticipate where this driver might be going. It looks like he's going every which way through the downtown area, Stu.
That's for sure, every which way. And you know, this is the reason why they did re-engage the pursuit a couple of times. The lights and sirens at least giving some of these folks warning about what's going on. Looks like we're making our way out of the downtown area, which might be a plus. I think we might have some issues getting into the Bravo if he starts heading a little bit more south. That's the LAX airspace because of the fog, but we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. There you go, he's making another turn. So now he's on Washington, so at least we're not going into the LAX airspace. The speeds might have slowed down just a little bit, but whoa, there you go.
Oh, goodness.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. And that vehicle actually went into a basement.
Oh,
that
my
is a
goodness.
basement area right there. There you go. You got the suspect climbing out of the vehicle and basically trying to run. LAPD, they've got to be somewhere nearby.
They have to be.
But I'm really concerned about those anybody that's in that car, the driver, of course. But you can see that. It actually flipped over and went into, like, fell at least a story.
My
that
goodness.
is a basement. It might be a little difficult to see. I don't know what this driver is doing down there. It looks like he almost wants to go and see if they're like wants to help. But anyways, LAPD's got to be making their way over here as quickly as possible. But that
this
actually
is
is
an
the
emergency
suspect.
situation right now.
Yes, definitely. And okay, there's PD. They're arriving, and of course, the PD helicopter saw that crash as well. They made that call immediately, just as we saw it happening live. They're going to take this guy into custody, and of course, they were going to check on those persons in that vehicle, but also making access to those persons. That might be a little bit difficult.
Okay, someone needs to get to that person.
Boys in blue.
There's a lot of barbed wire around this empty lot. As you said, it almost looks like it's an abandoned lot, and perhaps they were digging deeper into the ground or took away some of the building there, and there's a step down or almost like a basement area that this SUV then flipped over and into that empty lot. And really scary here, as we don't know the condition of this driver inside this vehicle here.
And how many people were inside the car too?
Yeah, and we haven't seen any movement. Engine's still running. What we're seeing right there is because the engine's upside down. Yeah. The oil is getting into the cylinders, and that's the reason why we're seeing that white smoke coming out. One of the officers made their way down there. They are starting to at least talk to the driver. But I would wonder, is this person even conscious? That was quite a hit and a flip, and then you also have to figure must have fallen at least 10 feet into that like you said, basement area, or possible was a basement here when there was a building. Officers going to try to do what they can, but they have to also be cautious. But fire department definitely en route. You can see this. What a crazy pursuit! And this is exactly
the speed,
what I was worried about.
The speed with which this driver was going. I mean, it was like over 80 miles per hour in some areas of these surface streets in downtown.
But also
that's
how
what we were
reckless he was
concerned
driving.
about.
Driving the wrong way down one-way streets, weaving in and out of traffic, at one point getting up on the sidewalk. I'm glad he's in custody, but I'm now worried for the person or people who were in that car right now.
Me too.
Well, we're watching as police officers sit here, and they are likely waiting for firefighters to arrive here. Perhaps they'll have to get some tools to extricate the people or the passengers that are inside this vehicle. And obviously, you don't know the condition of the person. They're going to bring in the paramedics and the braces to make sure that they can safely get this person out. We're just praying that the person or persons inside this SUV are okay. But this I would hope that they would just shut that engine off, because I don't want to see this thing start to catch fire.
That's right.
Even though you have these officers here, they probably have access to a fire extinguisher, but still, that engine's still running. That's not good as far as the possibility of a fire or something, some other issues starting down there. More officers arriving here on scene, and also access is going to be the fire department. They're going to have more tools to make that happen. But again, we definitely know at least the driver inside that vehicle. Violent crash out here, corner of Trinity and Washington. That pursuit suspect in custody. But right now, our biggest concern is that innocent person or persons inside that upside down SUV. There you go. One of the officers actually climbing in, trying to make their way in there. Looks like, okay, so
we want to go ahead and play this. We want to go ahead and play the video of the end of this pursuit to see just how this happened. One vehicle, that vehicle in pursuit truck slamming into that other SUV as it made its way through that intersection, and the speed so fast that the SUV flipped over into that empty lot.
And you're estimating, Stu, that the drop was about 10 feet?
Oh, wow. The person is
Yeah, it's
outside
probably
the
about
vehicle.
10 feet.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
She's outside the vehicle.
Okay.
She climbed out the other side. Actually, Dylan
Wow.
was saying that the PD ship was telling us that the driver is out of the vehicle, climbed out the other side. So you got her. You
my
can see
goodness.
visibly injured and shocked. I can
Yeah.
imagine. And this is the thing. I am sure she doesn't even know what happened.
wow.
Nope.
You know, she is just literally driving and then broadsided like that. The vehicle flipping over and landing in this basement. It's definitely. I'm happy she's alive. I'm sad that this happened. That's probably the best way to say it. And you can see some of the damage on that apparently stolen vehicle. That's what we're getting from our assignment desk. That was the original want of that of the vehicle was a stolen vehicle. But anyways, driver in custody. The innocent driver of the other one out of the vehicle. And, of course, fire department in route.
She's alive, and the good news is she's alert, and she was able to pull herself out of that. So a lot of good signs here, but obviously they're keeping her on the ground here until firefighters and paramedics can arrive, do a full assessment, and take her to the hospital where she can get some help. But what a crazy situation for this driver, just on her way there. That's 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, and this is Washington Boulevard at Trinity. You can see the moments before, when the crash happened. You can see her car just flipped over that lot. It went about 10 feet and landed on its roof.
Yeah.
And she actually, officers had to pull her out of not the driver's side, but the passenger side.
Yeah, part of it was that there is that drop.
Yeah.
There's that drop into this into this lot, and so that's. I mean, as chances are, you know, she's gonna go into that intersection, gets into this accident, and then goes into a lot where it causes the SUV to flip over. And
I'm sure officers right now are telling her not to move, right, until paramedics get on scene.
Definitely.
The front of the vehicle where she was driving, I mean, that looks like it's absolutely crushed. So, gosh, it's just so crazy how lucky they are. And there's the firefighters, the paramedics there arriving at the scene.
But this is a major thoroughfare, so I'm sure they're going to be shutting things down temporarily until they get things in order over here.
Yeah. We do have our DG Graciette, who is on the scene there, so she'll be able to give us a look from the ground as soon as she gets to that location. But we'll be monitoring the situation here. Again, the end of her pursuit ends with a crash. One person, it appears, inside the other vehicle that flipped over down an empty lot and the suspect now taken into custody. We'll keep watching this, and we'll have more when we come back.
Want to get you an update now to the ending of a pursuit, a violent crash that flipped an SUV and injured at least one person. We saw this unfold live. Stu up in SkyFOX, what's the latest on that?
Well, the latest is LA City Fire Department here on scene, and I'm going to update my estimate on how far that SUV, after it flipped, rolled into this basement of a building that was here at one time. I was saying about 10 foot, but now I'm going to change it up to about 6 feet, but still quite a drop. You can see the paramedics working with that only person that was inside that SUV, the driver, and putting her on a backboard. Now they're going to get her out of here, place her in an ambulance, and get her to a hospital as quickly as possible. LAPD, they were in pursuit of a stolen pickup truck. That pickup truck, of course, still here on scene. That suspect in custody, went into custody pretty much without any incident after that crash. LAPD, they are here. They do have a portion of Trinity shut down. Washington Boulevard, I think, is going to be open in both directions here shortly. But a very violent crash, high speeds definitely happening out here. And again, one innocent person injured. That is very devastating. We never want to see that. But you can see the paramedics already have that victim on that backboard, getting her out of that basement area, and then probably going to be putting her into an ambulance quickly. LAPD, they did an amazing job trying to keep the public safe, doing what they could. If you were watching that whole thing, that vehicle going at some point 80 miles an hour on some of these city streets in very tight areas. And again, this crazy crash happening here at the corner of Trinity and Washington, sending that SUV spinning and flipping into that basement.
We're going
to... no, I'm sorry. Now, yeah, I thought we already played it, but they're going to show that crash video as it happened when we were over it live. You can see that happening, but that driver is being treated by paramedics. We didn't see her get up or walk around, but she's definitely talking, and she is definitely on the on a gurney now, and they'll be taking her to a local hospital. LAPD, they're going to be doing their investigation. A lot of paperwork is going to be involved in this as well, but what a crazy crash out here, and again, showing you what law enforcement has to deal with. It's one of those calls. They try to keep the public safe, but when it's somebody driving like that, it is definitely a very tough call.
Right,
Sending it back to you all.
They could pull off if the driver showed signs that that the driver is going to slow down and obey traffic rules. But this pursuit, as it was making its way through the downtown area, that driver just stepping on the gas, accelerating through city streets, onto sidewalks, the wrong way of the streets, burning through intersections. And so they kept on this driver, and it almost seemed like it was quite inevitable that something like this would happen, slamming into that intersection there in South LA. And then, as luck would have it for this, unfortunately for this driver, there was that sunken lot. And so that after that car, that SUV was propelled into the lot, that SUV flipped over. Fortunately, she was talking, she was alert. Those are some really good signs. Put on a stretcher and then taken by paramedics now to a local hospital.
Oh, but I'm sure she's in shock. That's for sure, because you have to imagine maybe she was on her way to work and this just happened so suddenly. All right, thank you, Stu.
Yeah, we got Gigi Graciette, by the way. She's almost there at the scene with another look at the situation there, and we'll bring that report as soon as she gets there. In the meantime, let's get to Samara with a look at the forecast. Good morning.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Jen. We'll continue, of course, to follow that, the latest on that incident. We're following the latest on weather conditions, and we are picking up the rain layer clouds, some patchy fog extending to some interior valleys, Riverside, and to portions of Ontario. But eventually it'll clear, and we're going to make way for more sunshine. Eventually, the coastal communities will be dealing with, I'd say, mostly sunny in some beach communities. Temperatures, though, will eventually be on the rise. Numbers get into the 80s by next week for our beach areas. Interior spots of LA, Orange County, we're going to be looking at picture-perfect conditions. Lots of sunshine on the way. 83 is what we're going to be anticipating, and then temperatures nudge a little warmer, very gradual, and then the big heat up next Wednesday and Thursday. Valleys in the IE, comfortable, typical summer temperatures at 93 degrees before triple-digit heat comes their direction later next week. And our mountain spots, if you're heading up to the high country, about 81 degrees. And numbers get also pretty warm, a range of 80s for Big Bear. High deserts, 90s, eventually triple-digit heat will be on the way. If you're heading over to lower deserts on this Friday, we've got 1 teens pushing into this weekend. Jen, Bob.
All right, Samada, thank you. So fans have been lined up for hours just to be the first inside the door at the big KCON.
So much excitement there at the convention center. Let's check in with Shani Wang from KCON to see how it is going so far. This morning, you're outside, and this just gets bigger and bigger every year, right, Shani? And what time do those doors open?
Yeah. So doors open at 9 a.m. We are super excited. We are here at KCON, the world's largest K-pop fan and artist festival. It is going to be a whole daytime and nighttime event.
How long people had been waiting in line for the doors to open? Because we saw some people were camped out.
I've been told that people have been waiting all night just for this event. We have hundreds of fans behind me waiting just for KCON.
It's part of the event, though, right? I mean, everybody just enjoys being around each other, everything K-pop, K-beauty, you name it. Are there any advantages for those folks that are waiting in line super early overnight to get into there? Any early bird specials, so to speak?
Yes. So fans are actually waiting early in line because they want to be at the forefront of the action. They want to be at that barricade, seeing their artists face to face. It's really just an amazing sight to see.
So this is day one. It lasts all weekend. The event gets bigger and bigger, I feel like, every year. What can people expect for day one today?
So for day one, we have a bunch of exciting things happening. We have 5 stages in the Los Angeles Convention Center where fans can experience dance competitions, artist stages, as well as brand booths within the convention center. We also have exciting things happening at Crypto.com Arena with legendary artists, both rookie and mainstays.
And one of the great things about this is there's some meet and greets here because, you know, they love seeing these performances, but tell us about their ability. Would they be able to actually meet their favorite K-pop stars?
Yeah, they'll be able to meet their favorite K-pop stars at the most exciting programming. We have meet and greets. We have fan activations. These are experiences that you can't get anywhere else in the U.S. except at KCON. And that's what makes this event so special for us, to be able to give back to the fans who love these artists and are so devoted to the fandom and the community.
Have you been talking to fans out there? I'm wondering what the big buzz is this year, especially.
Yeah, I've been talking to all the fans this morning. They are super excited to see some of our main artists